Why closure rarely gives you peace. Have you ever told yourself, if they would just explain why they left, I'd finally move on? Or maybe you've imagined one last conversation, one last text, one final apology, because somewhere deep down, you believe closure is the missing piece. That once you hear the right words, the pain will disappear. But here's the hard truth. Most people don't stay stuck because they never got closure. They stay stuck because they're waiting for another person to give them permission to heal. And that's a permission that rarely comes. Today, we're going to explore why closure almost never brings the peace people expect. What your brain is really searching for. And why the freedom you've been chasing has been inside you all along. Imagine Sarah. After 5 years together, her relationship ended with a single sentence. I just don't feel the same anymore. No long explanation. No dramatic fight. No betrayal she could point to. Just silence. For months, she replayed every conversation, every holiday, every argument. She searched old messages. She asked mutual friends questions. She wondered if another woman was involved, if she'd been prettier, kinder, more patient. Maybe things would have ended differently. She believed one conversation would finally make everything make sense. But when it finally happened, nothing changed. He explained. He apologized. He said it wasn't her fault. Yet Sarah drove home crying just as hard as she had before. Why? Because what she wanted wasn't information. She wanted relief. And information isn't the same thing as healing. This is one of the biggest misconceptions about heartbreak. We confuse answers with peace. Psychologists know that the human brain hates uncertainty. It's called the need for cognitive closure. Our minds are designed to complete unfinished stories. When something doesn't make sense, the brain keeps returning to it like an unfinished puzzle. That's why you replay conversations in your head. Why you suddenly remember tiny details months later. Why your mind invents imaginary conversations while you're trying to sleep. Your brain isn't trying to torture you. It's trying to solve a mystery. The problem: some mysteries don't have satisfying answers. Relationships rarely end because of one moment. They end because of hundreds of invisible moments. Small disappointments, unspoken expectations, emotional distance, personal struggles, timing, fear, childhood wounds. People themselves often don't fully understand why they changed. So when you ask someone for closure, they're giving you today's explanation, not necessarily the truth your heart believes exists. Sometimes people genuinely don't know why they stopped loving someone. Sometimes they lie because the truth feels too cruel. Sometimes they protect themselves. Sometimes they protect you. And sometimes they simply don't care enough anymore to explain. That's painful to hear, but it's real. Here's something even more difficult. Even when someone tells you the truth, your brain often rejects it. Imagine hearing, I just wasn't happy anymore. Your mind immediately asks, but why? Then another why. Then another. Then another. Because pain creates an endless appetite for certainty. Every answer creates another question. It's like drinking salt water. The more you consume, the thirstier you become. Think about how many people finally receive the apology they waited years for. How many say, "I forgive you," yet still feel empty afterward? That's because closure doesn't erase emotional memory. Your nervous system remembers what your mind already understands. Your heart heals much slower than logic. There's another reason closure disappoints us. We secretly hope it will rewrite the past. If they apologize, maybe those years weren't wasted. If they admit they loved us, maybe we mattered. If they regret leaving, maybe our pain becomes meaningful. But closure cannot rewrite history. It only explains it. And sometimes, not even that. One psychologist described grief beautifully. Grief isn't learning to forget someone. It's learning to build a life where their absence no longer defines every day. Notice something that has nothing to do with another person. It's entirely your own journey. Many people spend years waiting for the apology, waiting for the explanation, waiting for the birthday message, waiting for the ex to come back and admit they made a mistake, without realizing their life has quietly paused. Healing becomes conditional. I'll move on after. But life rarely gives us that moment. Think about someone standing outside a locked door. They're convinced happiness is behind it. So they keep knocking for months, sometimes years. Meanwhile, there are dozens of open doors behind them. New friendships, new opportunities, new love, new versions of themselves. But they never turn around because they're staring at the one door that refuses to open. Closure often becomes that locked door. Here's the irony. The moment people truly find peace, they usually stop needing closure. Not because the questions disappeared, but because the answers stopped controlling them. One day they wake up and realize they haven't checked their ex's social media in weeks. They hear their name and nothing happens. They drive past familiar places without feeling their stomach drop. Not because they learned something new, because they became someone new. Healing isn't about collecting answers. It's about changing your relationship with the questions. Instead of asking, "Why wasn't I enough?" you begin asking, "Why did I believe someone else's choice defines my worth?" Instead of, "Will they ever regret losing me?" you ask, "Why am I waiting for someone else's regret before allowing myself to be happy?" Those questions change everything. Real closure isn't a conversation. It's a decision. The decision to stop negotiating with the past. To stop trying to rewrite a story that's already been written. To stop asking someone else to carry responsibility for your future. That doesn't mean pretending the relationship didn't matter. It means accepting that its purpose may have been to change you, not stay forever. One day you'll look back, not because the memories disappeared, but because they no longer own you. You'll realize the person who broke your heart also introduced you to strengths you never knew you had, boundaries you never used to have, self-respect you never demanded before, a deeper understanding of what real love actually looks like. Ironically, the closure you spent years searching for wasn't hidden inside another person's explanation. It was hidden inside your own growth. So if you're waiting for one final conversation, one last apology, one perfect explanation, Ask yourself this. If they gave you every answer you wanted today, would it really change what happened? Or are you hoping it changes how you feel? Because those are two very different things. And only one of them has ever truly been in your control. The hardest truth about closure is that peace doesn't arrive when someone finally explains themselves. Peace arrives the moment you stop needing them to. So here's today's question. Are you really searching for closure? Or are you waiting for someone else to give you permission to finally let go?